Why writer's block happens.
I think every creative, no matter what, like if you're a writer or if you're a painter, whatever, like there's just moments where like we have nothing.
They're like, I don't have anything for you this week. I just didn't feel inspired or nothing came to me. Even with like motivation, right? Like a lot of people are like, yeah, I'm just not motivated to work out. Me. Once that boat is moving, like you're rolling, right? The motivation almost follows it, you know?
Creative skill, it's tricky to have it be so mathematical. Like I have to set a routine for this and I have to write every day. Like it feels almost counterproductive, but it will help you in the end. I feel like I was very against that when I started writing and like I was taking classes.
The extreme of needing systems to do something, I think that's because I was never naturally gifted at songwriting. I needed to have systems in place to get me there, to actually get me to writing something. Hey Voxstar, and welcome to From Singer to Artist. I'm Lara Chapman, award-winning singer and songwriter turned viral vocal coach and the host of this show. At VoxTape Studios, we help singers from all over the world level up their voices by teaching them the 3 fundamental skills all singers need: technique, awareness, and artistry. Whether you're looking to go pro or just develop your voice for fun, my team and I are here to help. Check the link in the description to book your first session or grab some of our other resources. Alrighty, are you ready? Let's get started. Experiencing writer's block is probably something a lot of songwriters and just writers in general can relate to. It is something that happens all the time, and I have Coach Juliana with me here today. Hello. And we will talk about why writer's block happens and what you can do to not make it happen, to get around it. And also, you know, more about inspiration in general. How much should we rely on inspiration when it comes to songwriting? Where can we find inspiration? So just all around writer's block and inspiration for today. So welcome, Juliana. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
How's life in LA?
Good. There was someone cutting grass out, so we'll see if they want to join our podcast today.
There you go. Hopefully there's no like,
That was quite loud. Disturbing.
It's okay. It's okay. If you hear that noise, you know what it is. It's the people mowing behind Juliana's building. Or in front. I don't know where they're mowing. Somewhere. But thanks for joining today to talk about inspiration and writer's block. Yeah. Writer's block, is that something that you ever experienced or have experienced in your songwriting career?
Yeah. I think every creative, no matter what, like if you're a writer or if you're a painter, whatever, like there's just moments where like we have nothing, that just like you try and nothing comes out. So yeah, I've done with it. I've dealt with it.
And I see a lot of students like that we're working with on songwriting. They're like, I don't have anything for you this week. I just didn't feel inspired, or nothing came to me, or whatever. And like, that's okay. Like, we're not going to be like, you were the worst person on the planet. Like, no, that happens. That's okay. But we do need to look at tools so that when we are on a timeline, we can do something. Like I know people, they write a song or even multiple songs a day. And but we don't have to compare ourselves to that, because those are professional writers. That's all they do for a living. They write songs for other people. We don't have to compare ourselves with that, but we do want to figure out a way to get around writer's block. Like, what can we do to start a song and or finish a song? That's another way a lot of people are experiencing writer's block. They start something, but then as soon as they hit the second verse, they're like, I don't know what else to say. So let me just pause here, and then the song never gets done. So yeah, it's important to figure that out, because I truly believe there's, even with like motivation, right? Like a lot of people are like, yeah, I'm just not motivated to work out. Me. I am never motivated to work out. I don't like doing it, but I know that I always feel a lot better after doing it. So for me, it's not a matter of motivation, it's a matter of discipline. Because a lot of times when you discipline yourself to work out, to write the song, to answer that uncomfortable email and not wait 500 days, right? Like it comes down to discipline. And once you're in action, once that boat is moving, like you're rolling, right? it gets, the motivation almost follows it, you know? Like it just gets easier to keep doing it. Do you ever experience that, or is that just me?
Yeah. I mean, I think especially with a skill that is a creative skill, it's tricky to have it be so mathematical. Like I have to set a routine for this and I have to write every day. Like it feels almost counterproductive, but it will help you in the end. I feel like I was very against that when I started writing, and like I was taking classes through Berkeley as well. I was like, oh, but like I don't want to have to do this every day. But like once I started doing it, I was like, oh, I get it. That's why. Because like it's just like putting your brain through workouts. So like whether, and we talked about it in a different podcast, but something called object writing, like it teaches your brain to think faster and make connections in your brain faster so that your little neurons are a little more active in the creative side. So if you do that every day or every week, it's less likely for there to be a full block. Like, sure, you can get to a point in a song, you're like, oh, crap, I don't know what else to do. But it's not like, what do I do? Like, you will be able to, like, drag things from places because your brain already has that skill developed.
Yes. That's not where we start, right? But that's why we work on it, so that we can work our way up to that kind of level. Yeah. Okay, let's get into why writer's block happens in the first place. I believe the biggest reason why writer's block happens is because there's a lack of system. Yeah. Like people rely on inspiration to write something, and you know they need to start humming a melody or write some sort of lyric down before they start writing a song or whatever, before they take action. And then that, I think, is what causes a lack of flow, right? And then that's why you're experiencing writer's block. I think that, to me, that's the biggest reason why I see people struggling with writer's block, because as soon as we teach them our system, they're like, it's not a problem anymore. As long as they keep it up, right? Like if you stop writing for a long period of time and then you get back into it, and when I say a long period of time, I mean like a couple months or years, then it's like, okay, we need to like restart this whole train, and that's going to take a little bit to get into motion, right? But when you have a system and you're following it consistently, you're so much less likely to experience writer's block. What do you think? Like why writer's block happens?
Yeah, I think it's lack of action, like lack of that skill being developed, like consistency, like upkeep, maintenance of the skill. Writing for the sake of writing, not because you need a really cool hit song. I feel like I used to do that a lot when I was younger. It's like, no, I only want to write when it's a really good song. I was like, no, like you have to write 10 bad songs to write a great one, because it's just giving you that movement and like that, you know, it keeps the creativity going and flowing through your brain. So I think not relying on inspiration, and sure, when you're inspired, absolutely right. Like, of course, it's going to be so much fun, but don't rely on it for it to happen, because you could be waiting a lifetime for that.
Yes. So you're saying a lack of action. I love that. Why do you think people don't take action? Is it like, again, like lack of system? That could be like they don't know where to start, right? They're like, I don't have tools under my belt to know what to do when I hit a roadblock, right? Like I think that's definitely a big part of it. But I also think maybe just like fear around the whole songwriting process, like fear of judgment. Like, what are people going to think about my deepest, darkest thoughts that I'm putting on a piece of paper? Like, what if they're like, you're a psycho, or that's really not that good? Like, you know, that can, I don't know, that can be scary to do that. Any other reasons like why people don't take action? Yeah,
I mean, I think that's a big one, like fear for sure. Like it's so funny. I was literally today on Instagram, and this friend of mine who's an incredible songwriter is starting to get a little bit of like traction in his reels. And of course, the moment you surpass like 1,000, 100 or like whatever, like 100K, let's say, it's not just good comments. It's a lot of bad comments. It's like, and you're like wondering like, how come this incredible song, this incredible singer is getting, you know, this type of attention, negative attention. And it's just bound to happen. Like, we can't do anything about it, and it comes with it, right? So, and he's making fun of it as well. So I think it's more how you know, use it for your advantage. But yeah, I get it. It's scary to put it out there and be vulnerable and, you know, let people into your inner world and inner thoughts. I also think, like, on the other side of, we can call it mental health, like sometimes if you're going through a dark time, or if you're sick, or if, you know, there's like other life things getting in the way, writer's block is bound to happen, because like that kind of like connection with your sensibility and like your emotions is maybe a little bit blocked, and that's okay. I think those are moments where you can be a little gentle with yourself and be like, okay, I'm not gonna push through it. Like sometimes it's so funny, like when I'm in that moment, I'm like either all in or all out. Like I'm like, no, I'm actually like so motivated to write because I need to get it out of my system, or I'm like, nope, I can't, like
not ready
brain
yet.
dead, like no.
Yes.
So it, you know,
Yeah.
I think that's very acceptable and it's okay. And of course, give it a little time and then come back. Like don't let it just like stop you. But I think that's also very possible for people.
That is definitely something I have experience with as well. When my poor little baby Navi, he's a cat, he's not a human, but my cat Navi, he had a rough little life. Poor guy. He had an autoimmune disease, and we tried everything to keep this little guy alive. But eventually, you know, like after being on steroids for such a long time, he was bleeding out internally, which is why he had steroids. But then those steroids messed up his heart and his lungs. The lungs started filling with water, and it was just
Bad.
time.
Yeah.
Right. Like it was just like we tried. We tried everything we possibly can. But we, you know, did have to put him down eventually. And my dad was like, write a song about it. And I'm like, nope.
There ain't no way. Yeah. Like no.
Nope.
Yeah.
Like, and still to this day, I don't have a desire to write a song about that experience. Not because I'm traumatized from the experience, but just because I don't feel the need to share that.
Yeah. And that's okay.
And I think that's okay too. And even if I don't even if I just write for myself, because I think a lot of people who just want to write for themselves and not necessarily with the need or want to share it publicly. Mm-hmm. But even just if I were to like write this just for me, and I'm not like thinking about sharing it with anybody else, or, you know, that's not the goal, even then, don't want to write about it. Not something I want to do. I can't tell you why. Maybe I can write a song about that. Why don't I want to write a song about my cat's passing? Yeah. Why?
I mean, there's always things to dig out for sure.
Yes.
But you don't have to. Like, you know, it's not like a must.
Yeah. And that, I think, goes into inspiration then. Like where can we find inspiration? Like I think there's a lot of inspiration in your daily life, obviously, right? Things that happen. It doesn't need to be something as major as a loved one passing away to write a song. It can also be smaller things. And it could even be like you're going to a coffee shop and you're overhearing a conversation, and now you're making up the rest of that conversation in your head and you're writing a song about it. Or, you know, just things that are happening in your life. But then there's also other things like consuming media, right? We were just talking about that before we started rolling cameras. Do you want to get a little bit deeper into consuming media for inspiration?
I think a lot of times, and I do this as well, when I'm like, maybe I'm at a point in my life where like nothing is happening socially. Not like
literally me. I am like, oh my God, I am either in this basement here or at my desk upstairs, like literally right up there. Yeah. Every day, all day. I don't leave the house. Literally this morning, I was like, oh my God, where's my ID? I can't find my ID. And then I noticed the last time I left the house, I used it just like I put it in my pocket, but that was weeks ago. I have not noticed that my ID was missing for weeks. Wow. I found it. Good. I found it like a couple hours later. I was like, it's in my pants because I went out weeks ago.
That's hilarious.
But anyways, no social life over here. It's all work. Well,
hey, it's, you know,
we love
seasons.
What we do. Yeah. It's fine, right?
Yeah. And, you know, when we're in that moment, or like, let's say like, I know for the longest time I was single, so I was like, okay, like nothing's happening, and I wasn't dating or something. So like I am a very romantic writer. Like it's really hard for me to write something that's not about relationships. I can, but I prefer to write about relationships. It comes easier. So you know, we have books, we have TV shows, we have movies, we have music. Sometimes I'll be listening to music and be like, oh, that gives me an idea for this song. Or like even the melody, I'm like, oh, that's a pretty melody. And then I sit down and I start like playing with it. And then that gives me an idea. So it's just like giving yourself little pieces of inspiration. So one little story that I have that I think is kind of like one of my favorite memories of songwriting and like the industry, whatever. I read this book a couple years ago called One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And it's this beautiful love story. And I was like so in awe of it. And I was so into it that I wrote a song about it. And I was like, I'm just going to post it on Instagram. And like I did. And she commented, she liked it, she shared it, and she was like, thank you so much, I feel so honored. And I was just like, oh my God, like what? And like, I have all of her freaking books like right here. I'm looking at them and I adore her. So I was like, okay, cool. Like I didn't intend for her to see it. I just wanted to share the song that I made. So you never know where inspiration can come from and where that could lead you. But I think it's good to just keep your ears open. And I like the idea of using your daily life as walking into a coffee shop and, you know, take your headphones out, put your phone down, like observe what's happening around you. You know, there's so many people that have individual, beautiful, complex lives within them. So it's like, if you just like listen, like you can find very cool things and stories to write about.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think there's a balance between finding inspiration in media that we consume and also just going out into the world and experiencing life there too, whether it's your life or somebody else's life, right? But there's inspiration everywhere. You just need to realize it. Yeah. And like understand that this is an opportunity to write a song. You don't need to have the whole story of the song figured out before you even think about, I could make a song out of this. Like you could think about, I'm going to make a song out of this. And then sit down and it doesn't need to be in that same moment, but whenever, you know, you get around to writing the song or you make time, because you have we never get around to doing anything. That's a lie we tell ourselves. When you make the decision, the choice to sit down and write the song now, that's when you can figure out the details, right? That's when the having a system comes in very handy, I think. Maybe I'm just, I don't know. I might be a little bit on the extreme of needing systems to do something. I think that's because I was never naturally gifted at songwriting. I needed to have systems in place to get me there, to actually get me to writing something. Other people rely a little bit more on just creativity and inspiration. But when inspiration is failing you,
you gotta use the system.
You can fall back to the system.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's gotta be one or the other. Like at some point, like you're gonna have to use both. If you're serious about songwriting, like if it's something you actually want to do, because it's like, oh, I just want to like write a little songs here and there, like, okay, do your thing. But if you want to be a songwriter and like actually pursue it, you gotta put in the work.
And you know what, I even think, even if you're just like, I'm just gonna do it like whatever for myself and write a song whenever inspiration strikes, I agree with you. If you're already used to writing and you already know what you're doing. But if you're just getting started and you have no idea where to start, then it can be still very much overwhelming if you're just relying on inspiration because you have no idea what you're doing, right? And then if it's like, okay, now I know what I'm doing, I have a little bit of an understanding, and then you just write a song whenever inspiration strikes, like that's totally fine. But I think to get started, having something is helpful. Yeah. And that might just be me.
I agree.
Everybody I've ever worked with.
I agree. Yeah, especially if you're not used to it, like you said, like if you don't know where to start or what to do after you start, how to complete it. Yeah. And we have little guides for that, don't we, Laura?
Yes, so we do have little guides for that. So if you're like, okay, I don't know where to start, or I have a million song ideas and I don't know what to do with them, we created a little guide called the Songwriting Framework, where we literally walk you through the framework that we teach our students. And it's step by step, easy to follow. And if you apply it, you can write however many songs as you want. And it's currently on sale for just $7, 75% off. If you want to check that out, just click the link below somewhere and go start writing some songs and turn those ideas that you have into actual songs, because we can't release unfinished stuff. Sorry, we can't. But yeah, inspiration and writer's block, I think it just all comes down to momentum and figuring out how can you create your own momentum, just like you have to do that for anything in your life, because nobody ever is motivated to do anything. Like, I am not, like, unless I like absolutely love the thing that I'm about to do, but the majority of my time is not spent doing something I absolutely love doing. Like when I get to hop on a call with someone or, you know, create one of these podcast episodes, that I love. And I don't need motivation or discipline to show up for, like, I'm motivated to do that. I don't need the discipline to do that. But when it comes to setting up a friggin' automation or scheduling this stuff or, oh my God, do you think I want to do that? No, but I have the discipline to do it anyways.
And it's
so that I can do the other things.
Yeah, it unfortunately is just something that you have to do in every aspect of your life, like keeping up and like being consistent with your job or with relationships, with going to the gym. Like you don't just like go to the gym once and it's like, oh, now I go to the gym. Like, no. You gotta keep going and like you gotta keep showing up and you know your muscles.
Way to call me out, Juliana.
It's not
way
personal.
To call me out.
But it's true.
No, but you're so right.
Yeah.
You're so right.
Yeah, and I was thinking that too, like with friendships and you know any kind of relationship. Like let's say like I make a new friend. I'm like, oh cool, I made a new friend. Now I have a new friend. You gotta keep up with that friend and you gotta like keep nourishing that relationship and like you know. It's not like you make it once and it's there forever. You gotta keep it rolling with anything in life.
Yeah, and in songwriting too. Yeah. I was just recently talking to Kaisa, someone I worked with, a student, oh my gosh, 3.5 years ago. We've been doing this for a long time, Juliana. Oh my gosh, time flies. But she was going through our Songwriting for Singers program. And I was messaging her recently and I was like, girl, what you up to? Because she had a major life change. She was initially, when we met, in school for architecture and hated it. And she's like, my goal is really, like, my dream is to be a songwriter and like an artist. Like, that's what I want to do. We started working together. 3 weeks later, she dropped out of architecture school and she was like, wow, actually, you made me believe that this is doable because I can write songs now. And so anyways, her life has changed a lot because of this, because of you know, understanding how to write a song. But anyways, this is 3.5 years ago. I reached out to her and was like, hey, what are you doing now? I see you're still singing, but I haven't seen much about, you know, the songs that you're writing. And she said, yeah, I haven't really been writing much. I think I should get back into it. She's like, I have a lot of unfinished songs. I'm like, girl, you got the system. We taught you the system. Use the system to finish your songs. And just me messaging her that like a couple days ago made her like, oh my God, yeah, I have all these tools. I just need to use them. Let me do it. And then that night she sat down and wrote a song. And I was like, yay! Oh. And now she feels in flow again, right? Like it's okay to sometimes have a couple months or a couple years where if you're doing it as a hobby, right? Then, you know, like it happens. But if you have the tools, you can just get right back into it and feel in flow again.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, it's better to never take a break. But let's be real. We're all adults and life be lifing.
Gets in the way.
Life be lifing.
Yeah.
Yes. But that's also why I think accountability is so important. Right? Like if I am not actively enrolled in voice lessons, I don't sing unless I am teaching. But that's not for my voice, that's for other people's voices. And so I'm just not practicing unless I'm enrolled in voice lessons because I know myself enough to know that I need that accountability. And that's how I make progress. But everyone's different. I don't know. Can you create your own accountability? Like, are you one of those people that can do that?
Yep.
Okay, good.
For some
I'm not
things,
the only
yes.
One.
For some things, yes. For others, no. Like working out, I have made since I was like 17. I was like, this is gonna be my life now. Thank God, because it just like goes hand in hand with mental health. Like if I'm not working out, boop, down like immediately.
Wow.
But with singing and songwriting, I do struggle because it feels like we're doing it every day because of our job, but we're not doing it every day.
Yes.
So sometimes
we're doing it for other people.
I should be doing this more. And I'm like, sometimes I'm hearing it, and it's so funny because I know you have said this too, where we're like telling the student like, are you practicing every day? Are you doing this? Are you putting? And I'm like, I'm not doing it.
I I know. Like, do as I say, not as I do.
No, which, I mean, it's good to be reminded and be like, okay, like maybe I can give myself a little extra time within my week. I mean, we can all do that, even if it's 20 minutes. Just like set the time apart. Make the choice to set the time apart.
It's a choice. It literally all comes down to making the choice to do it and setting aside the time, because we are all busy bees. And if you don't block off that time on your calendar or whatever you need to do to make it work for yourself, then we're going to fill that time with scrolling on the internet, watching a movie, watching another episode, or doing whatever it is that you usually do in your life. And the time is going to get filled either way. The time is going to pass either way.
Might as well use it.
Choose if you want to write a song or not, or practice your singing or not, or whatever it is that you're doing that brings you joy, right? Anyways, if you want to take action, come and join us. We're hosting, both Juliana and I, we're hosting a live class called How to Write Songs You'll Actually Like. Because that's important. We want you to write songs that you like and not something that you're like, I hate this. Because then that doesn't bring you joy, right? We want you to experience joy, and we also want you to take action so that you can get into that state of flow. This class is happening on Tuesday, October 14th, which is around the corner. You should totally come and join us there. It's free to join. If you can't make it live, you have the option to upgrade to a VIP ticket. And with it, you get access to the replay, a VIP-only Q&A session. You know that songwriting framework guide that we were talking about? That's actually included as a bonus. So if you're like, I want to get that guide, just get the VIP ticket for a couple extra dollars, and you get all these other bonuses as well. A recording ready guide is in there as well. And the VIP ticket is $17. Nice. So just some food for thought. Come and join us in the class. Let's take some action. Let's write some songs. And hopefully we'll see you there. Anything else that you need to get off your chest, Juliana, about motivation, inspiration, writer's block?
Just do it.
Just do it. Just get into action. Make the choice.
Yeah. The more you think about it, the less you're actually doing it, you know?
Yes, yes. Just get into flow. And to get into flow, we need to take action. Exactly. And to take action, we need to make a choice.
Yeah.
So make a choice.
Exactly. Yeah. Same thing for gym goers. And you can take this if you want as well. But it's the same thing. Like sometimes I'm like, I'm not even going to think that I have to go. I'm just going to put on my clothes. So then I have one less step to think about. So maybe just write it in your schedule. Songwriting time. If you see it there in your schedule, in your calendar, you're going to be more likely to actually be like, oh, yeah, I should write a song. And not like, oh, I didn't write today. Right? Because it was in your schedule. Same thing. Just write in it.
Yes. And then hold yourself accountable, right? Like if it's there, make it a non-negotiable to show up and do the thing that you said you were going to do. You said this on another episode, Juliana, and it was about practicing voice. And it was with your friend Rachel. We were recording this in LA together with her. And you said the only person you're doing yourself a dishonor by not practicing, by not showing up for yourself. The only person you're hurting is yourself. It's not like you're letting down anybody else. It's you're letting yourself down by not doing it. So hold yourself accountable and show up for yourself. You deserve it, queen. Yes. Anyways, enough for today. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, Juliana, for joining me. And hopefully we'll see you in the live class, which I think this episode comes out on Monday. So it's tomorrow. Come and join us. Alrighty, we'll see you there. Bye.